Hey everybody, we are up and moving. Gonna give y'all these next couple of seconds to people to come on in. And we're gonna try to make this show definitely 1 hour today.
Yes.
Because I'm on good old drugs.
Hello, everybody. We're going to wait till a few people come on.
Let's see. What is this?
What?
I didn't want the screen in.
Okay. Hey, everybody. How has everybody's day been today? Mine has been a little hectic, a little rough, but we still here, so it's a chance to do it all over again. As you all know, today's topic is it right or wrong for a man to hit a woman back or defend himself against her? We all have different views on that. I say personally, if you don't want somebody to hit you, keep your hands to yourself. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and open up and start this topic off today. So Shelly, what do you think? Do you think a man has the right to hit the woman back if she hits him?
I do. I think if a woman is bold enough to swing, she should be able to get a swing back. And I'm not saying a guy should knock the shit out of her. I'm saying like if she hit him, let's say they're arguing and she hits him, and say she slaps him in his face, he has the right at that time to defend himself. I think so. I think it works both ways. My mom always said, if you ain't willing to take a hit, don't hit nobody.
I agree with that because a woman could push a man so far, which he should still have restraint. But again, if you don't want that man to hit you, keep your hands to yourself. Because, my brother used to say, if you don't defend yourself, a woman will hurt you. Because you got some violent, vicious women too, And I just feel like, keep your hands to yourself.
No.
Some men will knock your block off whether you hit them or not first.
Now, I don't think men should beat women. No, that's not what we're saying here. We're saying if a woman slaps you in an argument, I mean, sometimes you hit because you're just mad at that moment, but do you have the right to hit her back or hold her to restrain her from hitting you again?
I believe they should restrain her to keep her from hitting him all in his face and stuff. But at the same time, it's only so much a person can take. And if you keep on going and you keep on and he keep telling you, look, don't hit me, keep your hands to yourself. And he's constantly telling you this and you steady going in trying to hurt this man. And then he snap and just whoop your ass. And you got him to the point where he can't walk away, then that's something I feel like the woman brought on herself. Now, by no means do I condone a man hitting a woman, but a woman should also keep her hands to herself.
Yes. Can you see the comments on your end?
I can. Everybody's just speaking and saying hello. And Renji Thomas said he walks away.
But what if she doesn't let you walk away?
You have those women that, when the man is trying to leave, she's trying to block the door, won't let him out, and all this crazy stuff. Before it gets to that point, if you can, leave. Because somebody going to jail if not both of y'all. Or somebody could either end up hurt in the situation. As women, we want our equal rights and equal opportunities. So if you hit a man, it's probably also right to equally get your ass whooped for putting your hands on that man. You know what I'm saying? Just putting it out there like that. So I know I ain't want nobody to put their hands on me, so I'm not going to put my hands on nobody.
Now there has been times when we probably was younger, we probably thought swinging was the answer.
We've all been there.
But sometimes you get super mad and you just feel like I want to, first of all, a woman don't need to test no man anyway. That's the first thing. Like they just shouldn't, because the power of a man is more powerful than the woman. But I don't say you run after the woman. The woman should run after the man and be like pointing and antagonizing him. And then, when he turned around, and then the cops get called. Georgia law, which is good now, if you go out to a home, if a cop comes out to a home for domestic violence, say somebody hit somebody, whoever has the scars is the one that doesn't go to jail.
That's right.
The one that goes to jail is the one who looks like they are aggressive. See, before it wasn't like that. They just automatically take the man. So it's just a lot of men in jail for slapping people that really didn't probably do nothing wrong in the first place.
Well, now they both go to jail, regardless if somebody is caught on, for domestic violence. In most cases, like you said, if the person's all scarred up and the other one is not. But here in North Carolina, your ass is going to do them 72 hours, you and the person.
To make sure you cool off.
Let's see. Timothy said he loves this topic. You're welcome, Timothy. And he said he's never experienced this. And Renji said you should defend yourself. Hey, Anthony. Anthony says, I live by never hit a female. It's a way not to hit her. The man have strong willpower. Well, you can have all the willpower in the world, but sometimes somebody can push you too far, and you may not even realize that you've snapped. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, especially if it catches you off guard, then somebody might get their head knocked off their shoulders.
Like if you really don't see it coming. Like sometimes you don't see it coming.
Right.
I mean, there's women that throw pots, pans, spoons, forks, knives, all kinds of stuff at a man. For whatever reason, and 99.9% of the time, the argument is completely stupid. I remember last year in the front of my neighborhood, this couple had just got married. They was arguing on the way out the complex. What was told was that the girl slapped the guy in the car. They both died. Another car hit him head on, and all you saw was their two bodies laying in the middle of the street, completely dead over something completely petty.
Foolishness. So, do you feel like when it comes to physical abuse, whether a man is hitting, when the woman is hitting a man, do you feel like women feel like that we're above the law because in our minds we think that he can't or won't hit us back, and they feel like they can just do whatever they want to do to the man and just get a free pass to put our hands on him, just assuming that he won't hit her? But then when he does, women act like, a lot of women act like, it's the end of the world. But we've all been taught, don't hit nobody unless you want to get hit back. Period.
Right.
So, a lot of women feel like, well, I'm gonna do this to him because he can't hit me back because he know he's going to jail. And that ain't right.
And they already planned out the skit before the cop get there. They're gonna sound like a canary. They're gonna cry. They're gonna do all the stuff to make it look like you done traumatized them.
Roderick, hey Roderick, he said, yes, he does. He said some women think that they have a free pass and they push it to the limit. That's true. I've seen that with my own eyes with different people. Now I know in my past I have put my hands on somebody before, and one time when he slapped the shit out of me back, that did it for me. I was good. I had to, and like I said, it was one of those off guard type of things. Like I was like, pow, and he was like, pow. I have no so fast. He was like, what you hit me for? And I was like, I forgot what I hit him for. It was so quick. So I'm like, no, I don't think I like that. So I'm good.
I mean, you never know. You might hit your spouse, your boyfriend, or whatever it may be, and the next thing you know, it's this whole situation going on. And you got yourself knocked the hell out, black eyes, blue eyes, over some stupidness.
Right. Dominique says, well, women don't hit my sons. That's a good thing. Because, a lot of these sons and men have sisters and aunts or whatever that'll get with you if you put your hands on their sons, nephews, or whatever the case may be. A
lot of people do that too. They call somebody. They call they call they sisters and be like, oh, come over here and get her, or they aunties or they cousins. Right. That's different. But then they be on go. Yeah.
Because because in his mind, he like, I can't put my hands on you, but I got somebody gonna handle this for me right quick. You're gonna learn to keep your hands to yourself. Roderick said, I would never put my hands on a woman, and I have enough control. But there are some brothers out here who will react differently. You are so right. They will. And some brothers, you ain't got to do nothing to. You look the wrong way and he try to knock your lights out.
Priscilla said hello from Japan.
Hey, Priscilla. How you doing, sunshine?
Thank you for coming on to our show. The topic, of course, is, Vonda said it very long. Vonda say it again because I don't have it in front of me.
Is it right for a man to hit a woman back or defend himself if she hits him first? And I was reading something earlier, and a lady said that she was brought up that the man is the head of the household, and if you step out of line, he has every right to chastise or punish you. Now, I don't know where she was from or how she grew up, but not in these parts.
But in certain islands,
certain cultures,
to beat their women, and the cops won't stop it. They don't get involved with no domestic violence. I mean, Jamaica being one, you can knock a woman clean across the floor, and anybody gonna come. Guyana, St. Thomas, St. Lucia. These are places that men know they can get away with this stuff, and nobody's coming. The cop can be standing right there. There's just their belief that a woman's place is a woman's place, period. You do not raise your hand to your husband or your boyfriend at all, which is not American.
Yeah, Dominique said, yeah, keep your hands to yourself. These girls be taking it too far. That is true. And back to what you were saying, those cultures, believe that when you're married, that is married folks' business, and they stay out of it. Women, so many women die from the hands of, their husbands because they don't have anything in place to protect the woman. You might walk down somewhere and see a woman's head leaking blood, and they'll walk past her, won't even help her because it was a domestic dispute, and they feel like they have nothing to do with that. They have nothing to do with them. Anthony says, if a person is in that type of relationship, they should rethink each other to see if that relationship is worthy of that, because it's just going to get worse in time.
Timothy said, I just keep your hands to yourself. You disagree? Are you disagreeing, saying you don't agree with a woman hitting a man at all? You're saying like you agree that a man should hit her back.
That's what a lot is saying. And Roderick says, truth be told, if a woman tries to put her hands on you, you've seen those signs a long time ago, and you should have handled it before it got to that point. That is true. And Curtis says, as the saying goes through it, if you big enough to hit, you're big enough to get hit back. Yeah.
And I agree with that. How many of you have hit a woman? Or how many women watching now have hit a man? And how many men that is watching now have hit a woman? Like hit him back in defense. I'm not saying to slap somebody, to be slapping somebody like in a domestic kind of thing. I'm saying like if somebody, y'all are arguing and you slap him. How many of y'all have done that just being angry? Because that would be like the question. Like, how do you stop yourself when you walk? Sometimes women are women. You walk away. The women keep coming. I'm gonna keep coming person. I'm gonna keep on coming until I drive you clean out the door. That's just me. I've grown out of it now.
The nature of the beast.
Yeah, I used to be one of the ones that used to run behind you and be like, oh, you want to walk away? Oh, you want to walk away? And I'm talking all my yin yang. And then, when you turn around, look like you're going to do something, I'd be like, oh, how dare you to hit me? I double dare you to hit me. And then it goes into that spill. When
that mouth is lethal, girl.
This mouth right here is lethal. It's always doing what it ain't supposed to do.
Mine been off 100 shots.
Now, it hurts at the moment. But, that's the thing. We keep coming. And then, when you get hit, you call the cops, 911. And I'm telling you, women can put on a show.
Men can too now. But Curtis said, everybody has a right to defend themselves. Just keep your hands to yourself. Don't hit each other, period. Walk away. That's easier than said than done a lot of times too, Timothy. Especially if
you said pray.
Casey said he has, and he's not proud of it.
Did you knock her all the way out?
That will get y'all in trouble every time. Well, you can. That goes both ways, Roger.
Well, I'm guilty of that one. I probably can put somebody that want to just really just.
Oh yeah, I know I can. You know, when a woman gets mad, her mouth is leaking.
With the mouth, but I try to control it. I do pray about that, Timothy. I pray hard about that one because I could be really mean.
But you know, when a woman gets angry, her mouth is lethal. She can hit you so hard below the belt till you make a person want to do some things to you, even if it's just not in his nature.
To say, we think of the worst thing that would just break you mentally.
Yeah, strip your soul
and strip you of your whole pride. Women go for the heart, honey. We go for the gusto. We want to know that whatever we said to you hurt your feelings so bad that you react to it.
Women go for the jugular, honey, every time.
He said, yeah,
I'm one of those. I can admit to that. I'm one of those. If you get me wrong, it's a wrap.
Roderick said that mouth would get y'all in trouble every time. Laugh out loud. You got a point, Roderick. You got a point.
He said men have too much pride to file charges, though. Cops show up and the female presses charges, but guys think it's a sign of weakness to counter and press charges as well. A lot of them don't. A lot of them don't mind sending you to jail because they're going to get some peace.
A lot of people drop the charges before it even go to trial. I mean, you call the cops out to the house, you make a case on it, you get your case number, and then when it's time for court, you don't show up for court because you really don't want to press the charges against you. Boo, no way. You just was mad. But what happens now? Say the cops comes a second time, you drop the charge again. You know, every time you drop it, it's noted. But when you go to court and you're standing in front of a judge, you're gonna be like, well, you dropped the charges. So what was he doing? What was he doing that kept you going back? If he was slapping you and you kept going back, obviously you liked something he was doing. It's like it's irrelevant at that point.
Azelle said he's never hit a woman. Casey said he didn't hit her with a closed fist, just shoving back and slapped, got him jammed up. He shoved her and slapped her and it got him in a lot of trouble, basically.
Yeah, just be, and don't be a bright skinned chick. You hit me, I'm turning purple.
Girl, I do very easily. So.
Purple. I'm gonna be completely purple. You're gonna know somebody done grab. You can touch my skin and I look like I've been hit. What do you say?
Yes, you are gay. Where'd that come from, Derek?
Oh, he's talking about the show for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. That's tomorrow, Derek.
Wednesday.
We got another topic going on right now, but I can't wait for that one tomorrow either. But yeah, you know, a lot of men. Roger said this is a setup. She just wants some makeup sex.
And you know what's so crazy?
A lot of people do.
A lot of people do that. They will screw you with a black eye.
They say makeup sex is the best sex. So
a lot of people in jail too. A lot of people that's in jail for like a short period of time. That's what they're in there for. It'd be some stupid stuff like throwing ants on somebody, putting some roaches on somebody. You know, knocking on somebody's door to make somebody mad. I mean, it's ridiculous what women would do to a man when they're angry and they're hurt. I mean, really, it's hurt that's making them do that in the first place. Y'all do know that, right? They just be mad trying to get your attention. And they feel the way to keep your attention is to by slapping you around a little bit.
So what about if he may not put his hands on, he may not put his hands on her, but he provokes her to the point to make her that angry to where she's just out of control and then she's had all she can take. You know what I'm saying? Like pushing her buttons to piss her off to that point so that maybe he can get out, go do what he wants to do or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
You have men that will provoke you just so they can leave to go be somewhere else.
When you could just say, I'm leaving, I'm going to do this. Don't cause all that havoc and chaos just to go do what you want to do.
Timothy said Derek's getting ready for Wednesday. You are
yeah, ready for that.
Derek, don't pay Timothy no mind. He's a regular for us. He talks cash money shit.
So, ladies, if y'all listening, how do y'all feel if you started everything? You put your hands on this man, and then he decided, look, I'm tired of you putting your hands on me, and then he defends himself. He might shove you, push you off, or he might just slap you or just whoop your ass. So how do you feel about that after you started all the trouble? Do you still feel like it doesn't matter you're a woman and he's regardless of whatever you do to him, he should never put his hands on you?
Well,
I want to know that because I know a lot. I know quite a few women that say, "Well, I do what I'm gonna do because I know he ain't gonna put his hands on me. He know better. He know better." And then yeah, he got scratches on him. You know, where she done bit him and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, what is he supposed to do? And I always ask them, "Well, what are you gonna do if he decides one day that he tired of that and he just go off and do something to you?" And I always say every time, I ain't worried about that. He ain't crazy. He ain't gonna put his hands on me because they feel like they got the law on their side. And that's just wrong. You can't keep doing that to people. Curtis said, the thing is, when you get a domestic charge, it carries a lot of weight. Your chances of finding a job is slim to none. Sometimes you got to use mind over matter. I know it's easier said than done, but the aftermath is nothing nice. That's true. And you know, when they're pressing these charges and doing this stuff, trying to get these men in trouble or whatever, they're not looking at the big picture because it does follow you and it does affect you financially. All types of stuff going on. You could lose your job. You know, it's just a whole other area of a can of worms that opens up for you that could have been avoided. And you know, you could even walk away sometimes and you still go to jail and you never put your finger on them.
These are all the things that come with this little territory when we say you shouldn't hit people, you shouldn't do this, and especially like if you have kids and they're seeing their mother get slapped around or
yeah,
and then, you know, even men can get their ass whooped by a woman. Don't get me wrong. There are men that get abused by women that will never talk about it because of their pride. So it's not just saying women shouldn't, but that's saying a man shouldn't hit a woman. But when a woman is beating on a man, that happens very commonly. But men never report that a woman is beating on them because it looks weird.
Weak. It makes him look weak. And it's not to say, but it's not to say that he's weak. He's just chosen not to put his hands on her. Because 9 times out of 10, any given time, a man can really hurt you. And I mean, that goes both ways. I shouldn't just say a man can, but a woman can, and a man, you know, they can hurt you. So I think a lot of times that's his choice, you know, trying to be the bigger person and taking all this stuff. And then people say, well, why not leave? Why not leave? Leaving is not that easy sometimes.
Right.
You know, people stay in bad relationships every day, just trying to stay, whether it be for the kids, whether it because they love this person and think they're trying to fix somebody. Let me tell you something right now. You can't change nobody and you can't fix anybody. Those things only happen when that person wants that for themselves. So if you trying to change a person and you're trying to fix a person, it's like beating a dead horse because ain't nothing going to happen until that person is actually ready to do that for themselves. So don't waste your time on that. You could give your opinion, tell them what you think and how you feel, and that can go in one ear out the other. And sometimes they may listen and take heed to it. You just don't know which way it's going to go. Hey, Jeffrey.
And both people know, both parties know when it's escalating. You feel that testosterone, you feel the anger, and you know it. In the back of your head, you done planned it. You didn't say, I'm finna hit him, I'm finna hit him, I'm finna hit him. And you talk yourself into really wanting to hit them. I think that's how men do it too. And then sometimes men will do it. You know this person too, Vonda. One of our friends, mutual friend, Minnesota. He said that he liked to hit a woman just because it made him feel good. Like he got a rush every time he would hit her. He just got a rush from it, that it made him feel good. And I was like, that is crazy. Like,
that's sick.
Good.
But what about
serious?
Yeah, that was crazy to me. I was like, because we were like, what? We were confused. Like, what? Like, but what about the women who feel like, and there's a lot of women like this, you know this, that feel like the man doesn't love or care about her if he's not abusing her, because that's how she was taught, that that's what love was or is. You know what I mean? Like, if he don't hit me, he don't care about me. He don't care about what I'm doing.
He don't call me out my name. He don't love me. If he don't, that's women with low self-esteem that grew up in a house that probably was wrecked, that probably done been through some scars and relationships and battles, that they feel like this is what their worth is. That's why it comes back down to you have to know your worth. And that's for men and women. It's not just for women. Everything is not just applying to women all the time. because I know there's guys out there that a woman can break their self-esteem to hell
Yeah.
just by being the woman that they are, just trying to dominate and take over and control and all this stuff until you feel really, really bad about yourself. You question everything about yourself.
Roderick said, what about when a woman pulls a weapon on a man? What are we expected to do at that point? I say defend yourself. You don't stand there
don't
just
let you don't want to go to jail.
Right. But no, you don't. I don't care who it is, male or female. You don't stand there and let anybody get ready to cause harm to you. You have every right to defend yourself. I don't care who it is or what it's about, because nobody's gonna let somebody just stand there and just let somebody hurt them. If I see you coming to do something to me, we about to have some real problems, because I'm not gonna let anybody just do something to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of women do that, like you said earlier, want to pull out knives and weapons and all this stuff and hit the man. But then when he like even just grabs her and pushes her over here just to get her off of him or try to leave, she comes harder. So at that point, what is he supposed to do? Just take it?
Thank you, Curtis, for sharing. Y'all like and share. You know, we always say that, like and share. Thank you, Curtis. We appreciate the love.
Jeffrey said, she's still living in the past. I had a woman like she wanted me to yell at her. I know her. That's not me. Oh, no. Mm-mm. Thank you, Curtis.
Now, let me wait a minute. So there was actually a survey done on this. Women tend to seek men that are controlling. We like the thug in them. We like you have a good old great guy over here, and you have one that's a little roughneck over here. And you go to the roughneck every time because this one is boring. This one is not doing what you want him to do. This one over here gives you this rush. Like every time you're around, you know it's going to be a roller coaster, and you get to running. You're running because the roller coaster is going on and on and on and on. We like that for some reason or other. We like the energy. Not saying it's healthy as hell, but you know we do. We be like, oh yeah, that one right there, honey, he crazy. And then it's our mission to break them.
It's the excitement because
it's the excitement.
Yeah, because you know nobody wants to be bored. I mean, you can feel safe with this person over here, but the one over here is giving you like the adventurous stuff, the headaches, all that other stuff. But the one you know his routine, you know what he's doing. We as women find that boring, but that's probably the best thing for you. But even with that being said, they still got shit with them too. They might not be mean to you, hit you and all this stuff, but it's other things. You know what I'm saying? That causes you to be like, eh. But then the one over giving you all the headache, that's usually the one that gets most of your attention.
And that's the one you running behind. He can do whatever he want to do, and you running behind like a little fool because you figure that's love and that he loves you a lot. You know, how many men on here call women bitches all the time? Like your girlfriend, your wife, like, oh, you bitch. How many men do that on a regular? And don't even realize that they're doing it. Like just saying you a little dumb bitch or you are acting, you know, how many of y'all do it? And be honest, there's a lot of men on here, so y'all be real honest right now.
Foot gonna sleep. Roderick said, if we all stop ignoring the early signs, male and female, it shouldn't get to this point. Most of the time, a woman is not surprised when a man puts his hands on her and vice versa. I agree with that, Roderick. But on the flip side, what if you in your mind, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, and then that person's mind, they're just so jealous, they're just assuming things that they just snap and do it out of the blue. Like, and you like, what? No, what? Like, what? You know, you asking yourself, well, what did I do? Where'd that come from? And so it's like, you damned if you do and damned if you don't. Because some people just got it in them to put their hands on a woman. You know, I don't know what happened to Shelly, y'all, but she'll be back in a minute. But yeah, Roger, let me see. That's okay, Jeffrey. We know what you're talking about. It's fine. Yeah, but back to what you said, Roger. A lot of times, people they see the signs, but they ignore it, thinking they can fix a person, thinking it's going to get better and all that, and it never does. It gets worse and worse and worse. So, you know, this is like you either going to stay or you're going to leave. And a lot of times it's not as easy as you think to leave. What happened to you? You touching stuff you shouldn't be touching.
No, the button popped up on my screen and I hit close and it closed. At least it kept you going. It closed my whole computer down. Sorry, guys. I'm messing with buttons, trying to look and read this little small stuff, trying to make fonts bigger.
Yeah. If you missed what I said, thank you, Timothy. If you missed what I said, I was saying, what about when you feel like you're doing everything that you're supposed to do as a woman and you thinking everything is peachy, and then out of the blue, wham, he just hits you, like, or she just hits you, hit him, or he hits you, whichever way it goes. And you're like, what the hell? Where'd that come from? Like, just random out of the blue. Because you just have some people that's just abusive, no matter how they try to hide it. They can't help it. You know what I'm saying? So
some people are just hitters. And I always tell my friends that spouses do hit them or boyfriends hit them. It doesn't stop. It starts from they hit you the first time to see if they can get away with it. It might start with just a push. Then a couple of weeks later, they push you a little harder. Then a couple of weeks later, they slap you in the face. And it's a rush. Men tend to get a rush out of doing this. If it's not in defense, say this woman is not doing anything to you at all. If it's not in defense, then you shouldn't be hitting any woman for any reason. And then you have to think about, would you want somebody smacking your mama around?
Your daughter, your sister?
Just anybody. Just, how would you feel if it was your kid or your significant other and they're getting slapped all over the place by their boyfriends? Because typically you go to your father and say, oh, he hit me. Your father's coming. Whether you was wrong or right, he coming. Period. So you got to think about all this stuff.
Jackie said, I was in an abusive relationship for years and I dealt with it because he used to always threaten to harm my kids until I finally got the nerve to fight back. And that's another thing too. I'm glad she said that. A lot of times men are abusive to you if they know you are afraid. My grandmother used to always say, she said, if a man puts his hands on you and you show him that you are afraid and you show him weakness, she said he would try to kill you. She said, but if you defend yourself and you fight that man back, and this, when you fight back, they be like, wait a minute, she crazy. Now it's all you that's crazy, but you've been taking all this abuse all this time. So, remember I told you when you had that relationship and you started fighting back and he wanted to run and call the police and everything when the tables turned. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you defend yourself, they're looking at you like you crazy because it empowers them to know or feel like you're afraid of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't gonna do nothing because she know I'm gonna knock her head off. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. So when you say one day, I'm tired of this shit, and you start fighting back, and he see that you not as soft as he thought you was, he gonna change his tune and he gonna be ready to go because he no longer has control over you. Well, I'm glad you got out of that, Jack. Thank God.
Vonda, I just realized why Derek said he's gay. So somehow our topics got crossed for Monday and Wednesday. So our Monday is saying, if you are bisexual, are you gay?
That's supposed to be Wednesday, but we already talked about this. So sorry, Derek.
We know the show on Wednesday is going to be about the bisexual. And I actually have a guy that I want to come in on the show that is bisexual. So he can probably explain that better for me.
You know my thoughts on that, but y'all got to wait till Wednesday to hear about it. Okay. So, all right. Curtis said me, because a lot of time I'm wrong and I don't want to hear the truth. And I go in on my poor wife for 25 years, but I never put my hands on her. But the verbal abuse is just as worse. That's what I did.
I busted his damn eardrum. You go, girl.
I know you did.
Like, you go, girl.
I know she did. But that's what I was about to say.
I you're paying in that one, honey. That thing came up with exclamation marks behind it.
Rightfully so. But listen, I was going to say, going back to what Curtis just said and what you said, if he pushes you, then that's the next time the push is going to be harder. Most of the time it starts out verbally. Mm-hmm. And I'm the type of person.
First.
Right. And
women, it ain't cute when men call you out your name. Don't have nobody calling you out of your name. Period.
I'm the type of person, I can't tolerate disrespect, whether it be from a man or a woman. That's just me. So first and foremost, if you come talking to me crazy in the beginning, that's over with, because we're not finna do that. You're not just gonna sit there and say to me what you want to say, call me out of my name and all that stuff. It's just not gonna happen. And if you do it, it won't. That'll be your only chance you get to say it to me, because it's a wrap. I don't feel like nobody should be disrespected like that, to that point, to where, especially if you're supposed to be caring about this person, and then you every bitch in the book, you a whore or hoe, whatever they want to call you, and then you sit there and you allow him to do that, and you don't take a stand and say something when he does it the first time. Well, you might as well get ready for this to come all the time, and then after that, it's gonna be the physical abuse
every second. It's like a common word.
Say it again. You broke up.
It sounds so terrible anyway. I mean, I don't get it. I don't even know why people use it. It's horrible. It's horrible to be called it. But then if you look at a guy and be like, you a little hoe, you a little pussy, you a little this, they in their feelings. They don't like it. Because I can think of some words, and I can think of a whole bunch of words. And I'm with Jackie on that. Jackie, I've had to bust somebody upside the head too, caught a whole case over some things. But when you go through some stuff, you got to fight back at some point, because people are crazy. They'll keep thinking they can just pounce on you and beat on you. And I got my girlfriend over here saying, Michelle, it's time for you to go. And I'm going, no, but I love him.
Shit. Listen, let me tell you. I was in one too. We fought. Like, I had never been like, I grew up with 4 brothers. My daddy, a man had never put their hands on me until I got with this one. And when he did, girl, when I tell you we used to have knockdown dragouts, I told him, and that's another thing, when I say people say they can't leave, I personally feel like if you want to leave, you can leave. I told him I was going away for the weekend to see a family member, and I didn't see him no more for 5 years. I just didn't go back. I left everything. Because, it's like,
you to be disrespected by any man. And I agree, Jack.
Period, Jack, period. But, I told him that I was leaving for the weekend, and I just never went back. The next time I saw him, it was like 5 years later, because I knew at that point to where we were, one of us would end up hurt really bad, or both of us would end up dead. So it was time to go. And I was like, that's a life that I knew I couldn't deal with, and I wasn't going to be a part of. So I left. It was easy for me to leave, to just say, you know what, you can have all that. I'm gone. I left everything, clothes, whatever it was, I can get that again. I'm good. As long as I can live with my life, I'm good. I can start over and probably do better than what I was doing before that. You know what I'm saying? So if you're
to leave, but sometimes it's not that easy, Vaughn.
I know I was just about to say that, but I was just about to say, for me, it was that easy because I knew what I wanted, and I know my self-worth, and I knew that I wasn't about to have nobody just putting their hands on me, and I got to fight all the time. And as soon as you hear the car pull up, you get a migraine just because this person is pulling up. If you got to live like that, that's not living. And it's time for somebody to go, or somebody going to get seriously injured. So it's time to move on. And like I said, thank God I'm the way that I am, because it wasn't no problem for me to move on and go about my day and my business. Antonio said that's a bitch move for any man to raise his hand to a woman. I agree. But you have some of those women, they thrive on it. They want that man to put his hands on them.
They like it. Some women actually like it. They like the rush of that. I don't know why. I don't know what they get out of that. But some women like to be abused. They just like it. I mean, you can't tell them to leave. They'll never go nowhere until they just get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being knocked all over the place.
But you think about back in the day, right? When we were younger, whatever, how many women stayed in abusive relationships because they were taught, whatever he does, just don't leave. They didn't talk about it, didn't tell nobody. They just stayed there and they took it because that's what was instilled in them. He's the man of the house. If he hits you, it's just a little, just cover that bruise up and go on and just sweep it under the rug. And, so many, and they don't even talk about the suicide rates back then from women killing themselves because of the domestic violence and the domestic abuse that they just felt like they didn't have nowhere else to go, and they felt better being dead than having to deal with that type of abuse. That's sad, but that goes on even now too.
And then you pass this on to your kids. You think about it. How
Yeah.
many kids have seen their mothers die to the hands of their father? How many kids have seen situations gone south and they witness it, and then they grow up with all this anger and they end up doing the same thing to someone else because they have all this anger that's tied up in them, and they're like trying to explode, and that's all they really know. If you grow up seeing your mama getting slapped all the time, in your mind, that's what you know.
That's
you don't
normal.
know different. That's a normal for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I was
when I was going through my situation, I remember my son saying to me, I was like, "You never come out your room," and he was like, "No, because I just figured you like it." And at the time he was like 8.
That's crazy.
So imagine what I felt like hearing my child say that to me. You have to like it because you won't leave. So, and it played a part on him, you know. And he would put his headsets on, and he would just drown himself in the Xbox.
Block it out.
It didn't matter. It just didn't matter to him. He didn't care. He was like, "You're gonna stay and do what you're gonna do, and until you're ready to go, this is what my mommy chose." And I had to find the strength, like Vonda was saying, that sometimes you can't leave. I had to find the strength to literally just say, "Okay, I'm tired and I'm done." And I knew I was going to go. I knew the day that I left, I knew I was going to catch a case if I didn't leave, because I wanted to kill him. So I was like, you know what? God done brought me this far. Time for me to bail out. And I remember calling my brother and saying, "Hey, come get me now, because this is not going to end good." And I never saw him after that. I was done, completely done.
Yeah. Antonio said, "I got 3 girls. You dumb enough to raise your hand to one of them, I'm going to change your fucking life." Right.
But Antonio, what if they don't tell you? A lot of times they don't tell it.
That's true. That is true. And you know, it's for a lot of people, it's just hard to talk about because they feel embarrassed, you know, when they're getting a bit, male or female, they just don't want to talk about it because they feel like you said earlier, they feel weak. They feel like, you know, especially if it's a man getting abused, he like, I mean, what do I look like going to report a woman hitting on me and abusing me? And I'm supposed to be this and I'm supposed to be that. Abuse is abuse is abuse. It don't matter whether it come from her first, him first, or whoever. It's still abuse any way you chalk it up. So the best thing for you to do is either talk to somebody, go get some counseling or something, or, you know, you sit that person down and be like, "Look, this ain't gonna work because somebody gonna end up, excuse my language, get fucked up around here with all this going on, because I'm not anybody's punching bag, and nobody's punching bag." So, you know, if you have an opportunity to leave, and, you know, thank God. And for me, when I was in that situation, I didn't have any children, and I was a lot younger. I was much, much younger. And I was like still like 18, 19 years old, somewhere in there. So I didn't have any kids, which made it better because I would never want to expose my kids to something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, your child, like you said, he drowning out all of the chaos, just to not want to see that. But, you know, and then you look and you don't want your child to think, well, this is what he did. This is all I know. And he get with a girl as sweet as she could be. And then he wants to do the same thing. You can't expose your kids to that. And sometimes it's inevitable and you don't know what to do about it. But then you have those people that abuse the kids too, right along with the daddy and the mama.
And the mama. Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother subject.
He said, "They're my girls. You know when something's wrong. My girls and I talk about everything."
And that is awesome.
Communication.
That is awesome. That's how I am. I have 2 daughters and they tell me everything. We talk about everything. So if they come in this house and they go somewhere different, I'm like, what happened? I feel it. I just know it because, you know, you have a connection to your kids and you know when something is wrong, you know, and they'll come in, they might try to hide something. I'll be like, I was all the way in another country and something dinged me. And I called, I was like, something ain't right. What's going on with y'all? And lo and behold, something had happened, but everybody was okay. But I just feel it because I'm so in tune with my kids. David, you on the wrong show again. It's Wednesday.
David, our topics are mixed up. The
topic is mixed up
to the wrong show. That is on Wednesday. I can't go and delete it because it's already posted, but that's not this show. This show is about men hitting women and women hitting them back.
No, the other way around. Is it okay for a man to hit a woman back or defend himself against her? That's what the topic is today. I don't know how they got crossed up, but we got you on Wednesday. We already see what you love. Okay. So it's gonna be fun.
Baby, your mind has got to be out of the gutter sometimes, honey. That's the most lovingest man on Facebook.
Listen, look, with the topic, that's all he can say for Wednesday.
Well, Wednesday should be a heated topic, y'all. I mean, that's what these days go by so fast. We'll be looking forward to these shows.
Girl, today went by so fast.
I got a question for Jackie. Jackie, what made you finally leave? You can answer when you do, but I just want to know what was the driving factor that where you said this is enough, I'm tired, I'm done. Because always something that pushes you. Mine was a sweet tea cup.
A sweet tea cup.
Cup of sweet tea. Yeah, it was a cup of sweet tea that he was gonna throw at me, and I said, if you throw that motherfucking at me, I'm gonna bust your goddamn head. I can promise you. I'm going to jail. I looked at Jalen. I said, Jalen, go call 911 because your mama finna go. We got finna do a little time.
Yeah.
And he knew. He didn't put it on. He didn't put it on me. He knew that I had enough. Like I was all the way live. I was ready to take whatever I was gonna have to go through. But I was so mad, and I had so much hate. I had built up so much hate through over the years. I was just like, oh, if I could just. That's how you get. And that's when you know. That's when you feel it in your bones that it's time for you to bounce.
But you know, that goes back to when I said you just lost my train of thought, but well, you just had enough, and you just know it's time to go because no, I know what I was about to say. It goes back to when I said, what happens when a man provokes you? And he provoked you every day. He tried to get you to do stuff to get you in trouble because, you know, it's a whole nother thing when you're doing something and he's at a certain point in his life, you're at a certain point in your life, but y'all live in the same house, but that person is jealous of your success. That's a whole nother animal right there, because how can you be with a person if you're jealous of what that person is doing? And that was, I think, a lot of his issue, because you were still doing your music, doing all this stuff, all this attention that was on you, and he liked attention, but you were getting more. So he would do things to provoke you to go to jail. So he wouldn't have to worry about that, and then he would be back in the spotlight for himself. You understand what I'm saying?
I completely understand, but you know my situation was ugly.
Yeah, and that's what I told you from the beginning. I said he's jealous of you. I said, and as long as you're gonna keep having problems out of him until somebody get hurt or somebody go to jail. And the latter one happened. Somebody went to jail. But you know, one said
you for to bail me out.
You act like you did some hard time.
All 4 days was like a woo.
Look, 1 day is too many for me. I can't do it. Look, Twan said, shit, I tried to report being hit by a female. I called the police, but when they came, she said I pushed her and we both went to jail. I told you. So I feel the man is fucked either way. I just thank God I grew up and now I want to just walk away. I was raised that someone hits you, you hit them back. If she's big enough to hit, then she's big enough to get hit. Now I'm too damn old for that drama and have no time for that. Yeah, Twan, we all grew up a little bit.
Okay. Now you can't, honey. You people hit you now.
Hi, Crusher. Yeah, but yeah, Twan, we all grew up from, a whole lot over the years. So, it happens.
We learn. Nowadays, I mean, I still have a little run in me. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I get, a little jumpy. And I be wanting that little rush, not the hitting rush, but I be wanting some kind of rush. And I can't tell you which one it is. I think Vonda likes that rush too.
Look, I'm a fire sign, so I can go from 0 to 1,000 in like less than 20, 30 seconds. So I've learned to control me. You know what I'm saying? I can't control nobody else, but I know how to control me. So
Jill don't look pretty at 48 or 50.
What you say?
I said, Jill don't look pretty at 48 or 50.
I ain't trying to go, period. I don't even want to go visit. Shit. I don't even want to visit.
Not at all. It's not good at all.
But that's another thing when people know your temperament and know so much about you and they know which buttons to push, it's easy to get yourself in a lot of trouble. That's why you got to, practice self-restraint and self-control. because you could get yourself, because you fiery too, you know. And so, you know, we can go from here to like here in like no time at all. So when you start with me, I'll be like, look, go ahead on and get out my face. I don't have time for that. Just go on and let me just be and get my thoughts back together so I can stay calm. Because I don't have no patience for that. Jack said he used to always say he was going to harm the kids if I tried to leave. So I was like, hell, he going to kill me anyway. So one day we started arguing. I was sitting on the bed with my legs crossed. Wait a minute. He grabbed my leg and twisted it. I was swung on the ground and punched him and busted his eardrum. After that, he knew I would fight back. So he left a few months later. I told you, when they figure out that you're not afraid anymore, the challenge is gone. He no longer has control over you. So what he gonna stay for? He did what he wanted to do.
But that's just awful that he did all that in front of you. How are your kids?
She said he had her. They're grown now, but she said, thank you. She said he had her afraid to tell anyone. And a lot of that goes on. And I bet you haven't heard from him since. Just like you, after you acted a fool, you ain't heard from him since.
I acted a fool. I mean, I've drove cars into people's Mercedes-Benz. I've wrecked clubs.
We didn't even talk about that. Look, that was another part of my life.
You know, out of self-defense, though, guys. It's all self-defense.
Look, Twan said, yeah, we both are the same sign, so I could do that too. Just now, it takes too much energy for that. I totally agree, Twan. Our birthdays are 2 days apart.
Oh, you and Twan? Oh, okay. So you
crazy
too, huh?
Yeah, we went to school together. We in the same class and stayed into it every day. Ended up going to the prom together and everything. And our teacher was like, "How do y'all do that?" Because we'd be arguing so bad. And you know, that's
her afraid to tell anyone.
Yeah, that's what she said. She was afraid to tell anybody when it was happening to her.
Yeah.
So she took matters into her own hands. And when she started fighting him back, the challenge was gone. She wasn't afraid anymore. So it's time for him to move on to somebody else. That's what they do.
The first time I got hit, my jaw was broken. And I got hit in a comedy club. Didn't see it coming. But I know for a fact that I hid from my mother for probably about 4 months before they realized that I was being beat up, like I was being hit a lot, like more than I was saying. Because after a while, marks become hard to cover. But then I was dating somebody who was real dominant at the time, and he was running the show on the street scene. So he figured that's the way that he figured life was supposed to be, just to hit you, harm you. And he hit, honey. He hit. Did he?
He wasn't a small man. But Jackie said he never hit her in front of the kids because her boys would have fought him.
You got that one.
But yeah, you know, you hit a lot, and we all do as women. You be like, well, damn, like, what are you supposed to do? So you just have to take matters into your own hands. And even with him, and I told you this, I said, you're going to have to show him that you're not afraid of him. And what did he do when you start fighting his ass back?
But then, you know what? I realized too, he was so big, he couldn't run after me nowhere. I think I was just afraid of him.
You was scared because of his persona and his demeanor.
I mean, he did things. I wish I could have one of the guests that witnessed this stuff on the show, but he did a lot, like maybe crawl in front of cars and and tied me up in bathrooms and
that was torture. That wasn't abuse. That was torture, because you don't do anybody like that, But like I said, what did he do when I told you fight his ass back? And what happened? He stopped and got the hell out and moved to England.
But see, it took me 7-8 years of my life to realize this person was wrong. Like, you can't love me. Now, today, I would say he probably did love me a whole lot. Now he probably regrets a whole lot. But
he does.
I'm the type of person that's like, once I'm done, there is no reversing the done. I'm done. Like, I don't go back. I don't backtrack. I don't want to sleep with you. I don't want to be your boo. I don't want to be I don't have an ex-boyfriend, any type that don't talk to me now, except for one. And that's the one I spoke about before. But I don't end on bad notes. I just walk away. I just figure I'm not running after no girl. I'm not fighting no woman over you and your dumb ass. I'm not gonna be hitting and swinging and jumping and doing all this craziness. It's not worth it. At the end of the day, for what?
Right. Right.
Well, see, there you go. They go, Ross, true story. You know about that story because you was around. A lot of people knew that I was dating this nightclub owner who was beating the shit out of me. And a couple of times, when I got upset and angry, like when I drove my truck into his Mercedes Benz, I just parked it at the top of the hill. I said, "Oh, motherfucker,
Yeah.
we can play." And I had that moment where my mind was just like, okay, he gonna mess with me so much that I'm just sick of him. And then like I drove through. He threw coke in my face or something. I said, "Oh, you want to show up in front of your other girl?" I backed that car up on the top of that hill and I drove my truck. And I was pregnant. I lost my child. I regret that. But I drove that truck straight into his car. And it made me feel wonderful. The only thing that hurt my feelings was that I lost my kid in the process.
And I think a lot of your thing with him was all the people that he kept around you. You felt like he would have them hurt you. You know what I mean? Like, because he had
a lot of people watching me all the time, and watching where I went and watching what I did. And if I put on the wrong makeup, the wrong clothes, the wrong hair color, everything was controlled in my situation. But then a woman looking on, Vonda came on the scene, a woman looking on would say, "Oh, girl, you got everything going on. He give you everything you want." Sometimes money cannot make you happy. Sometimes it ain't even worth the money.
But not only that, he alienated everybody away from you. He just couldn't get rid of me. He hated my goods.
Hated her to death.
He hated my goods. Because I told him, I said, as long as she with me, you will not put your hands on her. And I meant that. And
it took me a minute. It took me a minute to go, this is not for me. Like I moved all the way to another country before I realized that.
Sorry, I'm about to go dead. But yeah, and when he saw that she had one person in her corner that he couldn't run off, that became a problem.
Because my family had left. They was like, "We can't watch you go through this no more. So we're gonna back away." And they did. They backed away from me. They left me alone. I didn't know where my mother lived. I didn't know nothing about nobody. All I know that I was stuck in his world with him doing the stuff he was doing. And then he had power to make everything go away. So he could do it, make it go away. He could do it, make it go away. And that's how it came. So in my mind, I was always like, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. And I never would hit him back until the end, until I had enough. When I went to his country and I was living over there, I got this little bust mark on my head where he bust my head into a wall. When he bust my head that night and I was sitting there and I was like, this man's going to kill me. And I'm going to get the hell away from me. I had to plot to leave the country. Like I had to get the maid to help me get to the airport. I left everything I had with my passports and my child. That's it. And I didn't know where I was going from there. So
you literally had to escape. Let me see. Antonio said, my older sister had an abusive husband. She begged not to go see him. She knew he was going to come up missing. Hi, Ian. Ian said, is this about abuse? Just need to know who to invite. Well, yes. Yeah, Ian, we're almost done now, but it was about if a woman hits a man, is it right or wrong for him to hit her back or defend himself is what we're talking about today.
And please like and share because people can always go back and watch this video after because it plays, it doesn't come down. It's going to still play anyway after we're done. So please like and share the page. Ian, I don't think we've had you on our show before, but welcome aboard, darling.
Ian was on last week.
Oh, sure.
He visited us last week. But yeah, but like I said, back to the topic at hand. If you don't want somebody to hit you back, keep your hands to yourself. Bottom line.
Now, we can't read that, Vonda. Sorry, we don't speak another language. I don't know what they're saying, but it's a lot of numbers there.
Sorry. He said, protect yourself, just don't swing. And Jackie said, no woman should hit a man either. I agree, especially if you don't want to get hit back.
No one should hit anybody. I think if you're in a situation where you have to hit anybody, you need to walk away because it
If you
doesn't.
can. Sometimes you can't walk away.
No,
But if you can do.
When you first get into one, you like I tell people all the time, you see signs. You know if somebody's temperamental. You know if somebody's gonna pop off at the mouth. You can watch this and see this, but we as women, we tend to overlook it. We tend to say, "Oh, that's just he was just mad that second." No, no, and no. It's not he was just mad that second. If you don't like a man calling you a bitch, don't sit there and let him keep calling you a bitch. Vonda told me that a long time ago. She said, "Girl, you better nip that shit in the bud." And a lot of times I would hear her talking. I'd be like, "Girl, that it's just a word." But when that word ring in your ear so much to the point where you'd be like, "Okay, call me that again. Call me that one more time." To where I'm just like, "Don't call me that at all. I don't even want to hear it. Don't call me no name but mine."
Right. Just have some respect. Like baby said, put some respect on my name. Don't do that because we're gonna have some issues. But just but what about, like we said earlier, like I just said, if you can walk away, walk away. But what if somebody just blindsides you and just like wham, just hit you? What are you supposed to do? Your first reaction is gonna be right then and there to defend yourself.
To swing.
Yeah, if somebody just swing on you, you are not going to stand there and be like, wait, why you do that? Don't. No, your first reaction is going to be, look, this is about to go down. You can't do that. Ian said, how do you feel about women who beat men and men that can't cry? So you never know until. Todd, I know that's what we're just talking about.
Said that, like a woman that beats up a man. We talked about that briefly. That sometimes the men are getting beat up and they don't, no one believes them. Because you go to a cop and say your wife is beating you up, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy. But it does happen. That's
every day.
It does happen every single day. It's not because they're weak. It's not because they're probably afraid, because you have some women that are actually really crazy, like crazy, and they will hurt. It could be the smallest petite woman, and she has so much rage and anger that you don't know to what capacity she might hurt you.
That's true. Who was that on break? Yeah, that's true. But yeah, like she said, we were talking about that, and anybody is capable of snapping. You know what I'm saying? You could just push a person too far and they've just taken all they could take from you putting your hands on them, this, and they like, I'm gonna walk away. But it might just be that one time where they decide, I'm not walking away today. I'm about to knock that block off. And you better be prepared for it, because it's possible it can happen.
Ian, let me ask you a question. Have you been in a situation like this before? Because I'm getting a feeling that you have. That you're speaking on something that you've experienced. That's just from reading the stuff that you posted. Sometimes you can kind of feel out people on that. Todd the Clark said, "I can't stand the word bitch." I don't like it either. I think that's a horrible word to call anybody.
Like use it all the time, just like they use the word nigga, they use bitch the same. It's just like, for Black people, that's a term. He said, yes, that's a term of endearment, but I don't like it. He said, yes, he has. Were you abused, or were you the abuser? And if you were abused, did you tell somebody, or did you report it? Or did you finally get tired and defended yourself and hit her back? I know there's a lot of questions in one, but
I don't know.
Never hit her back. Kids were involved. Huh?
I don't know if he's a guy or a girl, because it's a girl.
It's a guy, and that's Kobe Bryant's daughter's his profile picture. But he said he never hit her back, and kids were involved. So she took advantage of her situation. Like I said earlier, a lot of women feel like they're above the law when it comes to putting her hands on a man, because she feels like the law is on her side, because she feels like in her mind he can't or won't hit her back. But it could be one of those days where he just, you see women laid up in the hospitals all the time, or laid out somewhere because a man hit her back or got tired of her hitting him. Not to say it's right or wrong, but like I'm gonna keep on saying, if you don't want somebody to hit you, don't hit them. Keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah, these are all.
Well, y'all, it's 9:02 and we are on schedule. We're only 2 minutes over tonight, so that's a good thing. We're getting better.
Sometimes we hate leaving because we can sit here and talk forever, but we're trying our best to keep this show to an hour. It becomes impossible, especially when people, because some people chime on later and they get into the end of the conversation, and then we try our best to answer everybody to make sure we're fair. But we do go back. Honey, got doors open. We do go back and we read the comments, and we do come on and we do answer them after the show as well. And there's always, like I said, there's a number that goes across the screen. Please feel free to contact us, even if you have a topic or an idea that you would want us to post up, because we come up with things that we think people want to talk about, like things that people don't want to say out loud, but they really want a platform to say. He said an hour and a half.
Yeah. We've been doing that. We're trying to cut it short, but we just enjoy talking to y'all and, getting feedback on what's going on. And like I said, we're trying to open up this platform for people to be able to talk about things that they either don't have anybody to talk about it to, or just afraid to bring the topics up and talk about it. We just want to have the conversations and open it up. And no conversation or topic is off limits. We talk about any and everything, and you get the real us. And most of the time when we do talk about something, if not one of us or both of us have experienced it some type of way. So we just want to make sure that, thank you, Ian, that, everybody can just be themselves and talk about things in an adult forum where nobody is judged for anything that they say. If you think it or talk about, we probably talked about it too. So this is why we're doing this, so we can just open up things. Thank you, Monte, to have people to just talk about and just, give their real truths, because a lot of times people look at you like you're crazy, but you really need to talk to somebody. So now y'all have us. Yeah. And if you're just here, like you said, we go back and I'll go back, or we go back and we watch this and pick up things. But you are welcome to call the number on the bottom of the screen, and you are also welcome to inbox us, and we will get back to you.
And also, please subscribe on YouTube. We're under the same name. The topic, this streams on 5 different platforms every night when we're streaming. We're on YouTube, and we're on all of our Facebook pages. Instagram doesn't support StreamYard, so we're not on there. And we're trying to get some things worked out with Spotify to put our show on Spotify. So we're just trying to do something different. We didn't want to be the typical show that come on Facebook where people is talking about their lives and this. We're trying to talk about, we're trying to interact with the people. We want to know what people feel and what they think and what they're going through. Real battles, real tribulations, not just, oh, let's just pick a topic and we're going to do all the talking. No, we enjoy. Sometimes the comments come, we may miss them, and I may roll back down to catch them to see which ones Vaughn didn't say, to make sure we're talking to everyone. But we plan on growing. That's our mission. And they said the word impossible spells possible. So I'm possible, she's possible. And we plan on doing this for as long as we can.
So y'all just make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And we're going to try to always have y'all something interesting to talk about. And like I said, you can always inbox us things that you're interested in talking about, and we will bring it up and we will talk about it. So,
and also go to our Shelly Live and Be Lovebird fan page and like the page. That one you can leave comments as well. Like the page. We're working on our website, and that's going to be dope. We had an amazing photo shoot. Boy, did we have some pictures in there that are hot and sexy and steamy.
And it was fun. It was fun. We really shout out to Stephanie and Jazz for the makeup and the photos.
Jackie said, awesome topic. Haven't discussed this in years. Felt good. But Jackie, if you ever need to talk, honey, feel free to reach out to me, because honey, I done been on that road, and it's a hard.
And you got my number. You can call me anytime, girl.
And then
he said the dialogue is so important. It's great. It's a great platform, especially for our people. Thank you, Antonio.
Thank you so much.
That's what we aim to do. We aim to
something positive, something different. But anyway, guys and gals, we have reached our hour and 8 minutes, as we always do. And we, like I said, like and share. We love y'all. This is Shelly Live and Be Lovebird, loving life, loving what we do, and loving y'all.
Are you going to leave them with a song tonight if you're in lyrics mode?
Nope. Y'all sing along, y'all. you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking is for
We get home.
baby, just a little bit. See, that's the song, y'all.
Back when you get home. Okay, y'all. We love y'all. Good night. We will see you guys on Wednesday. You know, we always got to end it with a song in some kind of way. I think she's trying to play the whole song, y'all, but
CC said respect how they jamming. They in their houses rocking. I'm gonna let it play, y'all, because it's almost done.
Okay, that's our outro, y'all. We love y'all. On Wednesday. Y'all can keep this topic on Wednesday because it's going to be good. I can't wait myself. I'm ready to hear all stuff.
Everybody come on Wednesday because I think Wednesday is going to be a phenomenal topic for a lot of people. I'm curious. Yes. I'm curious. We don't want to bust that out of the box. I'm gonna retype my thing because I put up on the wrong display today. Anyway, y'all, this is Shelly Live and V Lovebird, loving life, loving what we do, loving y'all. Thanks for all the love and support. We appreciate it.
Good night.